Alright again, guys, we are back again for another part of Love at First Sight. Okay, we're going to start off. It is another day again for this one, so we're going to start off. And as it says right here, it looks like it's lunchtime. So let's see what builds with this Cyclops girl. Let's see if the relationship that might happen between them. What I really want to know is, I want to know more backstory about this girl. Like, why does she always have bandages? And hopefully we start to find that, because it's a big question in my opinion. Not as much the one-eye thing, but more of, why on earth do you have bandages on all the time? Why is your clothes all ripped up all the time? So, how about we start this and maybe we'll find out a little bit about that. I'm going to try to find Sachi again today. But first... Alright, I need some help. Let's make it quick. We're holding a war council as we're finishing up our lunches. Quick? Is it? What do you think is the best way to become friends with her? What makes you think I know? Okay, no. Not just her. I mean, in general. How do you feel? How do you make friends? Didn't you have any friends at your old school? Well, yeah, but... Then you should know, shouldn't you? No, it's not like I had to try to make friends. I just became friends with some people without even realizing it, I guess. That's why I need advice. I don't think I've ever actually tried to make friends with someone. It, just like you, it kind of just happened. You know, you just talk to them and you get to know them, and maybe you have similar interests and you kind of become friends. I don't think I've ever actually tried, actually consciously go, I want to be this guy's friend. That's kind of what happens to everyone. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, there might be some people out there who try to make friends with someone, but most of the time I think it just kind of happens. I mean, okay, my turn now. Kimmy, who'd been silent up until now, suddenly shouts, startling me. Honestly, I don't think she'll have any useful advice on the subject, but I want to eat my lunch, so I stay quiet and let her talk. She always seems to be quite the energetic girl. Ma-kun, the answer is simple. You just have to remember when you first met us. It's a little depressing if our first meeting is the only frame of reference she has. When I met you? Yeah, because we became friends pretty easily. Of course, it's not like you could resist my fantastic charm, but still. Man, she really thinks something of herself. I actually kind of like her as a character. No. At the time I was thinking, these guys are weird. I only got to know you out of morbid curiosity. What? That's mean! The fact that you're able to get along with us nerds means you're also weird, doesn't it? I'm not denying that. No! Deny it! Look at her. It's like, no, I'm not weird. I don't know what you're so worried about. You're more sociable than me, and not as loud as a Kimmy. Why? Why are you guys always gagging up on me? They always want to gang up on you. She seems like she would be an interesting friend to have. Anyway, the point is that you don't want to scare her away, right? Yeah, pretty much. You're annoying me again! And you were going to go find her today, right? Yeah, I'm planning to, but I don't want to eat my lunch here. Last time I met her, having food with me just got in the way. Besides, I don't want to spend the entire lunch break with her and leave these two hanging. Are you sure you can stand being away from us? I bet you that's a joke. Sometimes I think this guy can read minds. He really doesn't look it, but he does care about other people. I think I'll manage. I'm more worried about leaving you alone with Akeme. Leaving him alone with her. Don't remind me. I don't like having someone else around who can keep this fool in check. What did you just call me? He called you a fool. I wonder if I should even go. You sure you can keep her in check on your own if I'm not here? Then again, Sachi should be finishing her lunch soon. I've been finishing up my own lunch in a hurry as we were talking as well. Since Sachi's eating alone, she probably wouldn't take long to finish her food. Sachi? Is that the one-eyed girl? Come to think of it, I don't remember her whole name. Ah, right. Usui Sachi. Sachi, huh? Well, she'll be Sachan, then. When you finally introduce her to me, I'll call her Sachan. That reminds me. When I first met Akemi, she immediately gave me the nickname Makun. And she didn't seem to care that I'd only known her for about a minute. Not that I dislike her, but the speed at which she gets close to people is a bit unsettling, to say the least. You know, when I hear Makun, I for some reason there is an anime, I wish I remember the name, but the Japanese voice actress in it who played the girl who said Makun also, it's stuck in my head. It's one of my favorite voice actors. It's such a beautiful voice. I think she was, if I remember correctly, I mean, it's been many years since I've seen that. I just wish I remembered the name. But I think I remember one of the characters, when she said it, I just loved the way she said, like, I think it was Makun, actually, when she was saying a name. I just wish I remembered that. I mean, one of these days I'm going to have to try to find it. Because it's like stuck in my memory, but the name of the anime is not. You're deciding on a nickname for her before you even meet her. Well, I'm not the one who's going to meet her. Makun, hurry up and introduce her to us so I don't have to worry about befriending her on my own. Yeah, I'll get it. In that case, I'd better hurry so Akemi doesn't have to think too hard and risk shortening out her brain. Look at her. My brain isn't going to short out. Hey, wait a minute. Good luck. Thanks. I glanced at the whining Akemi before packing up my lunch and leaving the classroom. Of course, there's no guarantee that I'll actually will find her. Sachi is probably just finishing her lunch by now, and I'm sure she'll go somewhere else when she does. There's also the possibility she chose to eat somewhere else in order to avoid me. I guess I won't know until I go, though. Oh, there she is. Alright. She's here after all. Same place, same frightened look. Hey, how's it going? Hello. Is she on guard again this time? She seems calmer than she did yesterday. It looks like she just finished her lunch. Her lunchbox is closed. Now what do? I suppose I should think of something to say. First of all, I'm not trying to scare you or anything. I just want to be friends, you know? Friends? Her darting eyes tell me that I still don't have her trust yet. The only thing I can tell for sure is that she's suspicious of me. Yeah, Do you not want me here? You don't have to leave. But in that case, can I talk with you for the rest of the lunch break? Okay. Great. She hasn't rejected me yet. Alright. Thanks. Sit down on the stairs next to her. Same as yesterday. What were we talking about yesterday? Oh, right. Something about books. Yeah. Books. You like reading books, right? Do you read manga and stuff? I like reading novels, mostly. Just novels. I see. So, you don't like manga then? No, I like them. I don't have any money for manga. Novels, either. I borrow books from the library. The school's library. I mean, they don't have manga. So that's it. Hey, if you want, I can lend you some of my manga. I have a few novels too, not just manga, but I figure that she'd be more interested in what she hasn't gotten as much of a chance to read. Huh? Are you sure? Yep. What genres do you like? I mean, I don't have a ton, but my collection's not too small either. I could lend you some of my favorites. Is it really okay? You shouldn't go out of your way for me. I said it's fine. It's really not a big deal. I'm just happy we have something in common. I see. Thank you very much. If you have some you want to read, let me know. So, what genres do you like? Any genres is fine, besides scary stories. Or painful ones. Horror is no good then, huh? You don't have a favorite genre then? Sorry. There's no reason to apologize. Right. The book you were reading yesterday. What was it? Can you let me see it? Oh, this? She points at the book she's laid aside next to her. It's a science fiction book. Sci-fi. You don't look like you'd be interested in that sort of thing. I read those too, actually. I really don't care about, genre. If it's interesting, I'll read it. Anything that's interesting is good, right? This looks like a good book. Anyway, I'll try to choose some I think you'll like. I don't want to bring some of the ones I usually recommend to people. Okay, I'd really appreciate that. Yeah, no problem. By the way, how's this book? I've heard of it before, but I've never actually read it. It's okay, I guess. There's a lot less tension between us now than there was yesterday. Her voice is still shaky and afraid, but it looks like she's becoming a lot more comfortable with me. Well, you guys kind of found something to talk about, which is good. She may not be used to talking with other people, but it doesn't seem like she's opposed to a good conversation. And then the bell interrupts us. Time to go already, huh? But at least I was able to talk to her more. That's something to be happy about. Oops, we should get going. Right. The two of us stand up and start heading down the stairs. Come back here tomorrow, okay? I'll bring the manga I promised. Oh, okay. Mamamura-senpai. Yeah? I stop on the steps and turn back towards Sachi. Her voice is so quiet that it's hard to hear over the sound of our footsteps. I'm really sorry. Really? I don't mind lending out 1 or 2 books. It's not that. Coming up here to talk to me. What is she getting at exactly? Usually when people offer to do nice things to you, you say thanks. Not sorry. Not that you have to bow or anything like that. Actually, I should be thanking you for talking to me. Sorry. Oh, she says sorry again. I don't think she talks to people that much. She doesn't have very good social skills. There you go again. Sorry, thanks. Thank you. Yep, glad I can help. We're descending the stairs as we talk, and before I know it, we're at the second floor, where my classroom is. She's got one more floor to go, since she's a first-year student. Alright, this is my stop. See you tomorrow. Sure, tomorrow then. We go our separate ways. Sachi goes to the first floor while I return to my classroom on this floor. Well, I did it. I only just met her, but surprisingly, we actually made a promise to meet up again. It's only been a day, but I feel like we've gotten much closer. She seems to have opened up to you. I mean, you guys found something to talk about, and you said you'd let her borrow, and that is a good way, to continue talking to her, because now she might feel obligated to return the book. So that is going to be at least 2 more times you will talk to her. One, when you give her the book, and when she gives it back, because she doesn't seem to be someone who'd try to steal it and never give it back. So you'll at least talk to her twice. 2 more, that is. Well, I'm in my afternoon classes. I think about what kind of manga I should lend her, and try to remember what's on my bookshelves. And then the next day. Morning, I enter my classroom and notice that Akemi and Tomo are already here. They both seem very confused as they look for me. From me to the paper bag I'm holding. Whoa, Makun, what's that? Are you opening a store? How many books did you bring? Did you bring like multiple of them? Be like, okay, I couldn't decide. I mean, if she's asking you open a store or something, it must be a good sized bag. I was talking with Sachi a bit yesterday, and I told her I'd lend her some manga. I think you brought a few too many. That's what it was. He brought more than he probably needed. I guess he couldn't decide which one to lend her. Tomo sounds more surprised than anything. Yeah, I think you're right. The medium-sized paper bag I brought along seems to be sagging under the weight of the manga inside. Didn't you notice how heavy it was when you tried to lift it? I guess I didn't, somehow. Is Sachan an Amazon or something? She's gonna have a hard time carrying that bag home otherwise, I'm starting to worry about that myself. I don't think it'll be impossible for her, but it probably will be hard. Maybe you can walk her home. Ooh. Don't you think it would be better to give the books to her a few at a time? That too. You can just give her like 1 or 2. Like you were saying that you were okay with lending. It's like you brought your own bookshelf with you. I guess so. I'll let her borrow them all eventually, I suppose. Aside from that, though, I've got something more urgent I need to take care of right now. Oh, what's that? I quickly turn to Kimi and bow my head. Huh? What's up? Please let me see your homework. He didn't do his homework last night, did he? You didn't do it. This is the second time today I've earned Tomo sounding surprised. That's a new record, I think. No, yesterday I was looking through my bookshelves trying to find books I could lend to Sachi. I was flipping through each book to determine whether or not it would be good for her, and, well, that's all I ended up doing last night. You're saying you spent the whole day reading manga instead of doing your homework. I suppose that's it in a nutshell, yeah. So, hey Kimi, help me out. Incidentally, there's a reason I'm asking Akemi. Despite the fact that she's kind of an airhead personality-wise, she's actually a really good student. I wouldn't say she's smart exactly, but she does seem like the studious type. That's not to say that Tomoyori's grades are bad or anything, but it's easier to ask Sakimi than him. Well, I guess I have to. I'll think of it as an investment into my future rendezvous with Sacha. Wait, don't put weird obligations on me. No, I'm just setting the table so I can meet her sooner. She just seems to be a very open girl. As I said earlier, I kind of like her. I like how much she just likes to want to meet people. It's kind of the opposite of me. Maybe that's why I like her. Me, personally, I'm not really someone who wants to go meet someone. I kind of like to be left alone most of the time, but I'm okay if people want to come over to me, but me going to go meet someone is a little different. I usually don't spend the time going over to talk to somebody. If they want to talk to me, I'm fine with that. But I'm usually not going to go out of my way and go talk to someone. Setting the table. We're not going out to eat. So you don't want to see my homework then? Oh, you're blackmailing him right there. Well, kind of. You're setting it up like, hey, you're not gonna do that. Well, I guess it wouldn't really be blackmail, but she's basically like, you're not gonna do that for me? Well, you don't get to see my homework. I will concentrate wholly on the work at hand, so please allow me to see it. Oh, very nice. Okay. Lunchtime. Before I can think about which books I'm going to lend her, I have to haul all the manga I brought up to the stairwell to the roof first. Hey, what's up? Hello, Mamoru-senpai? What's that? Her gaze shifts onto my paper bag. Does it really stand out that much? I picked out some manga for you to read, but I guess I brought a few too many. There are a lot. Do you walk to school? Yes. I thought you might. I brought 2 or 3 different series, so go ahead and pick out what you want to read. You can take a few at a time. I don't want to overload you. Sorry. You don't have to say sorry, Sachi. He already said thanks. You say thanks, not sorry. Thanks. Nah. I'm the one who should be apologizing. Anyway, check these out. Okay. The bag crinkles as I dig my hand into it, and I pile up a tower of manga on the steps. Sachi cautiously extends a hand toward the tower, but she looks like she's about to commit some grave sin. I guess she's never borrowed manga from anyone before. She looks scared for some reason. But she starts to sort through them, and as she's reading the summaries and flipping through the pages of the books, her expression loosens up little by little. This one looks really interesting. Oh, I saw a bunch of copies of this one lined up at the bookstore a little while ago. This one, if I remember right, they say they're going to make it into a movie. So, did you find one you like? Yes, they all look so interesting. I can't decide. This one, and this one. Wait, no, this one. I wait patiently as Sachi begins to fidget restlessly and turn her head to me for guidance. There's no worry. Pick whichever you want. The bell drowns out my sentence. More time has passed than I realized. Sorry, okay. I'll take this one and this one. Hey, are you doing anything after school? Or are you going right home? I'm going right home. I can help you carry them to your house. After class. Wait for me at the school's gate. Huh? I hastily packed the manga back in the paper bag, and before she can say anything, I'm already heading down the stairs with the bag in my arms. What a way to get her. She might kind of feel obligated to now show up because you didn't let her, answer. You didn't let her say no or yes or anything. No reply. You just told her to wait and you left. It's kind of like, oh no, she doesn't show up there at the gate and wait for you. Might hurt your feelings. Just before I turn the corner, I catch a glimpse of Sachi and say, "See you after school." Oh. He says something. Oh ho ho. Adds it in even more. Compound that. That thing in. And now, because she didn't say anything, but you also got another phrase out. Now it's like you expect to see her. Wait, senpai! Having more or less forced this onto her, I leave the shaken Sachi and return to my classroom. Yes, you basically did force it on her. Of course, she still does not have to do it. She doesn't have to wait for you or meet you after school. But there is pressure in a way. If she wants to befriend you or doesn't want to have a weird conflict, an argument of some sort or something like that to come up the next time you guys meet, she might end up having to show herself and meet you. Type of thing. Oh, we might walk home. I did say that maybe he should walk home with her. I guess I was pretty much correct. That might be what's going to happen. After school. I leave the school building carrying the heavy paper bag. I have no idea how far Sachi's house is from the school, but it wouldn't be right to make her carry all this home. Come to think, I don't even know where her house is. I don't know what I'm going to do if it's far in the opposite direction of my own house. No, I agreed to this, so even if it is in the opposite direction, I'll go all the way there. I really didn't think this through, did I? No, you kind of just threw it out there. Now that I think about it, it's like I'm triggering her into showing me where her home is. Isn't it kind of creepy if someone you've only known for a few days finds out where you live? But what if she does think I'm creepy? As I'm thinking about this, I'll leave the gates and survey the area. Where's Sachi? I suddenly worried that she silently left without me. I guess I was too pushy. I didn't even wait for her to agree to let me walk her home. If she decided to go home on her own, it wouldn't be out of place, and I would have no right to complain anyways. That is correct. I mean, as you said to yourself, at least you're willing to admit to yourself that even if she did leave, and you kind of put this on yourself, you didn't let her answer, so that's good. That's good that he didn't just assume and not he would get mad. That's the way most people should think. They shouldn't just get upset after stupid things like that because you didn't let her reply. If you didn't let someone reply and give an answer, you can't just assume. Assuming is not an answer. And if they don't do what you've assumed they would do, it is not their fault. It is your fault. If that's the case, wouldn't she have come to my classroom to give me back my manga first? Oh, there she is! Senpai! No sooner do I hear her voice than I realize she's standing next to me, looking up. Where the hell did she come from? She really snuck up on me. Shall we go? I look over and confirm that it is in fact her next to me, then watch as she quickly leaves the campus, staring at the ground with an uneasy expression. Seems like she wants to avoid being seen. I continue after her, hauling the heavy paper bag along. About 10 meters on, we turn down a narrow side road, and she slows down to a more normal pace before turning to look at me. She seemed to have forgotten what she was about to say. I think she's just nervous. I mean, she just doesn't seem to be a very sociable person and is socially awkward. She's not very good with people. I'm sorry for forcing you to do this. You must think I'm a jerk. No, you're not a jerk. I won't go that far. I think I should go home alone. I don't want to cause you any trouble. What would you call some trouble for? I just had to think about it for a bit before thrusting the manga-filled bag at Sachi. She hurriedly throws out her arms to try to take it, but... Eep! As I take my hands off the bag, Sachi falls forward under its weight. The bundle of books lands with a deep thump as it hit the ground. I guess it's a lot heavier than you thought. Yep, turns out she isn't an Amazon, after all. See, that's too heavy for you, isn't it? That's why I'm carrying it for you. If you don't hate me, though, you should say so. Oh, do hate. I was thinking that was a weird sentence. I said do. I think I said don't there. I pick up the bag of manga again. But isn't it going to be a pain for you? Nope. If it was a pain, I'd tell you. Don't worry about it, Sachi. Aren't I the one being a pain here? If you think about it, isn't following someone I barely know to her house kind of rude? No, I don't mind if it's you following me to my house. Really? Well, I'm glad then. So, which way is your house? This way. Alright, let's get going. Oh, okay. The two of us start walking at a steady pace, side by side. Sachi takes short steps, but since I am weighed down by the heavy books, I match her speed perfectly. What's up? Which way is your house? If it's in the opposite direction, I mean, if that's the case, I can carry the manga on my own. Interesting. Sachi started talking to me on her own. That makes me strangely happy, even if it's only a minor thing. I think that means that she's opening up a little bit. Willing to take the lead in the conversation, you could say. To initiate the conversation and everything. Mamamura-senpai? No worries. This isn't the street I usually take, but my house is in this direction. What street do you turn on? I don't turn, I mean, the street changes, but basically, I head in this direction the whole way. I see. That's good. My house is pretty much straight ahead, so we're probably right in the same neighborhood. Does it take long for you to get to school? I think I'm pretty close. I don't take too long or anything. Is that so? Cool, cool. Isn't that heavy? I think I can help you carry it. I'm telling you, it's fine. I did drag this all the way to school from my house this morning, you know. Oh, okay. Sorry. Come on. I'm the one who invited myself to come along with you. So there's nothing you need to apologize for. You're not doing anything wrong. Well, okay, thank you. No problem. Anyway, tomorrow's the weekend, isn't it? Don't worry about rushing through the books just to get them back to me. You have plenty of time after all. Yeah, I guess so. Thank you. The two of us lapse into silence for a little while as we continue on. On the way, I noticed something. Even though we're generally headed in the same direction we were when we started, Sachi keeps changing streets. I think it's because she's avoiding streets with a lot of people on them. On top of that, whenever we get to the end of a street, she bows her head as she walks, looking down at the ground. People must say things to her because she only has one eye. I mean, if she does this every day, I kind of feel sad for her. having to go through that, not worried about what other people have to say. Hey, is your house on the other side of the shopping mall? I wanted to stop looking down, so I tried to strike up some conversation again. No, we're not going that far. It's just a little farther from here. We should be able to see it soon. I see. My house is a little ways behind us. It's a different street, but we really are in the same neighborhood. Oh, really? That's my house over there. She points at a house a little ways ahead of us. Oh, this is your place, huh? We've arrived at a solitary, small, nondescript house. Thank you very much. I can take them up to my room from here. Are you going to try to get in her house now? Now that, I think, would definitely be pushing it. Hey, I know we just met and this is my first time talking to you, and, you know, well, not the first time, but, you know, we've only known each other for a couple days, and this is my first time walking you to your house, but hey, how about inviting me into your house? And how about we go up to your room? I think that would be stretching it a little bit right there. Unless she invited. I think right at this point, you would just give it to her. Unless she invited you in. Okay, sure. I gently hand her the mango, being sure not to drop it into her arms this time. Then, with a metal clack, the door to Sachi's house opens. Surprised, the two of us turn toward the sound. The woman who comes out stares back at me for a moment, but she quickly focuses on Sachi, narrowing her eyes. Aunt Mayumi, are you going out? Oh, that's your aunt. So that means you are not a family of Cyclops. So your one eye must be a genetic mutation, more or less. Sachi looks like she's about to cry as she lowers her head, trying to avoid looking at the woman. Well, she doesn't look like a very nice lady. The person Sachi referred to as Aunt Mayumi is a slender woman with perfect posture and two normal eyes instead of one giant one. Yeah, something urgent has come up at work, Sachi. Who is this boy? She looks me over from top to bottom, her face grave and unsmiling, and her eyes creep onto the bag I gave Sachi. She's beautiful, but her stare is so icy it sends shrivels down my spine. This... from school... is student. Sachi's voice is tiny, and she bows her head again, flustered, and I'm not sure the woman can hear her. Should I try to point that out? She turns to Sachi, but before she can speak, I open my own mouth. I am Fukunage Mamoru. I recently transferred schools. I met Sachi a few days ago. I came with her so I could carry the bag of books and manga I'm letting her borrow. I try to say this as politely as possible, but I'm probably talking way too quickly. I see. Thank you for doing that for her, Mamoru-kun. Her speech is polite, but she says this in a very flat tone, and it's hard to tell what she's thinking. Of course. Now, I must get going. Sachi, since you're late, you'll have to eat alone. Okay. With that, the woman rushes out of the house. I watch her for a bit until she turns the street corner, but she never looks back this way. A family member, huh? You called her your aunt. Yes, my mother's sister. I'm living with her right now. I see. I want to ask about her family situation, but swallow the thought and ask what I think is more important. That woman, your Aunt Mayumi, does she treat you badly? Huh? No, not at all. I can't really seem to get close to her, though. Maybe she's just not a very sociable woman. I mean, there are probably some women out there. I mean, she looks like just someone who doesn't let their emotion out at all. Well, she might be sociable, but she just doesn't a very emotional one. That's what she seems like. Oh. I don't know if Sachi's bad at telling lies or not, but it doesn't seem like a lie, at least. She might be getting her injuries from being bullied at school, after all, but without knowing how her family treated her, I couldn't be sure. You know, I actually didn't expect him to actually go out there and actually say that, ask that question. Does she treat you well? I mean, usually if I met someone, the only reason I would ask that is if I noticed something with the person I'm talking to. You know, or found out where they lived and be like, oh, okay, does this person you live with treat you nice? You know, if it looked like maybe they were, like, always hurt or something. It would be a valid question, in my opinion. I mean, you're more or less, it just means you care. That's all I think. Okay, I'm going home. You can return the manga whenever. Oh, sure. Really, thank you so much. See you next week. Yeah, see you. Sachi hoists the bag of manga up with a grunt and heads inside. After making sure she made it inside alright, I start walking toward my own house. I'm worried that our relationship isn't coming along as well as I had hoped, but at least it doesn't seem like she's being abused by her family. At any rate, I think we've gotten just a little bit closer than we were before, and I smile as I think about that. Oh, hello, Sachi. Oh, she smiled right there. Alright, that looks like that's Act 2. So this is Act 3. I think I was mistaken last time, because I think at the end of the last video I was like kind of confused, because I think it popped up Act 2 again. Because maybe it was like midway of Act 2. Okay, so this looks like it's the next act. I think this is a perfect place to end this off at. Okay. Alright, guys. I want to thank you guys for watching this one. Feel free to leave a comment if you want. If you want also, if you like the video or not, feel free to leave a thumbs up. And if you want to be up to date on the videos, feel free to subscribe. Also, in the description box I will leave a link to my other YouTube channel, as well as a link to my blog. I don't really post much on my blog, but feel free to visit if you want. And hopefully we'll see you in the hopefully I'll see you in the next video, and you all have a great day.